The headlines: APC accuses Adeleke of defying court order, calls the local government poll illegal. Kaduna State University lecturers suspend strike. Jos residents say impact of recent drop in food prices yet to be felt. And on the international scene, Congo's leader proposes unity government amid ongoing violence. It's noon. Welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us on the details, starting with political matters. The All Progressives Congress, the APC, has accused Osun State Governor Adeleke of breaching his oath of office by conducting what it terms illegal council poll that have sparked chaos. The ruling party urged the federal government to withhold the Federation account allocation meant for the 30 local governments until they are governed by reinstated elected officials. The APC condemned the poll and accused the government and the state chapter of accusing the main chapter of the PDP of threatening the peace. The APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka maintained in a statement in Abuja that the election was illegal and unconstitutional. During the swearing-in of the chairman, Adeleke asked them to stay away from the secretariat. He noted that the appellate court in its ruling on February 10, 2025, overturned a federal high court judgment that nullified the election of APC-backed local government officials in 2022. The crisis rocking Osun State over the control of local government administration yet to abate even after the newly elected chairman and councillors were sworn in. Now, after the swearing-in on Sunday, the governor, Adeleke, told the new chairman and councillors to stay away from the local government council secretariat following the directive from the All Progressive Congress, the APC, that the reinstated chairman and councillors should return to the council secretariat on Monday. Hamid Oyegbade files in the report.
Following the conclusion of the Saturday local government election in Osun State, the chairman and councillors were sworn in at the government house in Osogbo on Sunday. While speaking, Governor Adeleke told the new chairman and councillors to stay away from the local government council secretariat for now, as the chairman and councillors elected on the platform of All Progressive Congress, APC, plan to return to the council secretariats on Monday.
I urge you and your councillors to please stay away from the council secretariat to avoid any clash. We don't need the police and aided to forcefully occupy the local government secretariats. And Osun State High Court had affirmed vacancies in both the chairman and councillors' position.
Governors of Bauchi and Oyo States, Bala Mohammed and Sheyi Makinde, who were at the swearing-in of the PDP chairman and councillors, said they were in Osogbo in solidarity with Adeleke on the local government issue.
We just want to peacefully deliver dividends to our people. And nobody should resort to self-help. Even if you have a court judgment, there's a process. Let the process go through. You cannot, because you have so-called federal might.
The chairman of Ife Central Local Government, Adeyenowo Rotimi, said the chairmen are committed to serving the people of the state to complement the efforts of Governor Adeleke.
We are going to perform very well so that people will see us as a reference point in contemporary arena.
Meanwhile, the state government says the situation is under control and urged residents to go about their lawful businesses without fear.
Democracy has been entrenched in local government. So it means that governance at the grassroots is now to God be the glory. We are rejoicing today because it is an affirmation of the commitment of our governor to democracy.
The state has been engulfed in crisis over the leadership of local governments, which led to the death of 6 people last Monday following a Court of Appeal judgment. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
The immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has called for an alliance and coalition across political divides in the country ahead of the 2027 general election. He made the call during a condolence visit to the family of the late elder statesman and Niger Delta advocate Edwin Clark. According to the former governor, the call became necessary to save Nigeria, which presently needs a rescue operation. His comment is coming in the wake of speculations that El-Rufai has been working to pitch his political tent elsewhere. El-Rufai, who was led to the condolence visit by Atiku Abubakar, said the former vice president also deserves credit for spearheading economic reforms during the Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. Segun Shounmi, a former spokesperson of the Atiku Abubakar campaign organization, said the meeting was to strategize ahead of the 2027 elections.
Maybe because we don't write a lot and people don't read history, we tend to forget. We only remember negative things. I think it's part of human nature to remember only negative things, to forget positive things. I'm honored and humbled to come with Vice President Atiku Abubakar to condole this family and commend the work that EK Clark has done. And I remember in the 60s, 70s, 80s, the traditional political partners of the North, the South. Let us not forget that. Let us go back to that. Let us save this country because it really requires saving. We need a rescue operation. So on behalf of Vice President Atiku Abubakar and his delegation,
the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Kaduna State University branch, has suspended the strike action it embarked upon a few days ago. The union had on Tuesday embarked on an indefinite strike over some unresolved issues with the management of the university, which dated back from 2009 and 2017. However, the strike was called off on Sunday following the intervention of the Kaduna State Governor Obasani. In a statement, the chairman of ASU, Kaduna State University branch, Peter Adamu, said the state government demonstrated goodwill in resolving the impasse by immediately releasing funds to pay 60% of September 2017 withheld salaries and the SUI's supervision allowance for 5 sessions. Now, he noted that the state government has also agreed to a timeline in the payment of the 5 months of May to September 2022 withheld salaries, promotion arrears, earned academic allowances, pension remittance from 2009 to 2019, death benefits, and group life assurance. It further stated that the government has shown commitment in the implementation of wage award and granting of autonomy to the Kaduna State University. A fire has engulfed a section of the Gusau Central Market in Zamfara State, destroying shops and goods worth millions of naira. This was contained in a post by a security analyst, Zagazola Makama, on Sunday night. According to the post, the fire started and rapidly spread through several stores before traders and local residents could intervene. Eyewitnesses at the scene described the situation as devastating, with many struggling to salvage their goods amid the raging fires and flames. Afterwards, affected traders have made urgent appeals for assistance for the Zamfara State from the Zamfara State Fire Service as the inferno continues to burn in parts of the market. At the time of filing this report, the cause of the fire and extent of the damage remained unclear. Three scrap dealers have sustained serious wounds after a disused fire extinguisher exploded in the Olodi-Apapa area of Ajegule, Lagos State. The incident occurred when one of the victims, identified as Muhammad, 40, was trying to cut open the extinguisher, which he intended to sell as scrap metal. The victims are among different scrap dealers operating at a scrap dump located in the area. While Muhammad sustained serious wounds and is being treated at the intensive care unit of the Ajegule General Hospital, the other two victims sustained first-degree wounds as a result of the explosion. Spokesman of the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyin, who confirmed the incident, stated that the matter was reported at Trinity Police Station. The recent suspension of USAID funding by the U.S. government has triggered mixed reactions in Maiduguri, Borno State. The decision follows allegations by the Trump administration that an annual budget of $697 million was being diverted to finance terrorist groups including Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, and ISIS. The claims have sparked calls for an independent investigation, with experts criticizing the Nigerian government's reliance on foreign aid for humanitarian needs and development. Beatrice Kurutsi tells us more in this report.
The claims made during a U.S. congressional hearing on government efficiency have prompted calls for an independent investigation. Experts and local residents argue that while Borno State has benefited significantly from U.S. aid, the Nigerian government must take greater responsibility for humanitarian support and development.
Locals have at different times come up to tell us that, look, this thing is not just the people. It is aided with some kind of forces. So I believe if this aid eventually leaves, if this aid is stopped, we would definitely look for look at the silver linings, look at the opportunities within, and develop ourselves, and at least we would have less level of death all over Borno State.
Intervention, especially in terms of a health sector, in terms of agriculture, in terms of youth empowerment that are happening, and Nigeria really need to going to feel the brunt of this decision. Because for me, I will also blame our leaders on that, because we have they have relegated their responsibilities and they have allowed international organizations. Some of them rely on this funding for them to even impact on their own governance responsibility. Some of them, you not even know that this support is coming from USAID.
Maiduguri residents emphasized the need for Nigeria to reduce its reliance on foreign aid. While the funding cut has led to job losses, they believe it serves as a wake-up call for the government to strengthen internal aid mechanisms.
I think the US aid officials, that professionals that will be losing their jobs, are about 28,000. And the federal government has agreed to absorb these people into its payroll. So whichever way you look at it, they are going to have a way of livelihood. But if it is going to cost us what it has cost us in the past decade, then I have no regrets, honestly.
And another way is also a wake-up call for our leaders, for them to understand that it's not the responsibility of the state government to fund us and then our activities and then to support us. But with this development, I think we'll go back to the drawing board. We'll start being innovative. We'll start providing effective services to our people, and we'll start being accountable. Most of them, the way they channel their fund, you need to account for every dime that they give. And that is why you see the impact of their support. And really, it's a really source of concern for us.
It is high time for our government to also act accordingly. if they will halt their operation for some times, then after the conclusion of the investigation, if they found that they are guilty of the aforementioned crimes, and if they have accomplice in connivance, then they should be sanctioned accordingly.
Meanwhile, the National Assembly has set up a committee to investigate the allegations, with many awaiting its findings. Beatrice Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
This is News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, Jos residents say impact of recent drop in the food prices yet to be felt. This and more to come after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Roboto APC accuses Adeleke of defying court order, calls the local government poll illegal. And Kaduna State University lecturers suspend strike. Now moving on to more stories. As Ramadan approaches, Islamic scholars and religious stakeholders in Gombe State are urging the ulamas to focus on promoting peace and unity in their tafsir sessions, avoiding political commentary and divisive rhetoric. Hassan Koli completes the report.
From mosques to religious gatherings, the call for responsible preaching is gaining momentum. Prominent Islamic leaders stress that Ramadan Tafsir should serve as a platform for spiritual enlightenment rather than political debate or personal conflict. Community leaders emphasize that religious leaders should embrace all, regardless of ethnic or religious differences, to promote national unity.
All the crises we are facing, either locally or nationwide, has to do with betrayal of trust. Either in our homes, if the leader of a family betrays the trust Allah entrusted him with, automatically there will be no peace. We now urge the entire Ummah, the leaders and the led, the masses and the influential ones among them, that we should all keep to our trust, because Allah emphatically said we shall account for trust. Whatever you have been entrusted with, you shall account for it on the day of Qiyamah. So if we want development, if we want peace, and if we want tranquility, let each and every one of us render the trust he is being entrusted to, even in our offices and so on.
Cewa duk ƙasan da aka samu malamai da sarakuna da masu shari'u sun shiga harkan siyasa, to dole a samu matsala.
Where religious leaders, as well as traditional and judicial officers, engage in politics, the country will inevitably face setbacks. They should embrace everyone, regardless of religious or ethnic background. Therefore, we urge ulamas to refrain from making political statements during their Ramadan tafsir.
Kada a samu malami ya yi wani bayani da ya shafi al'amari na siyasa.
With preparation for Ramadan in full swing, expectations remain high for scholars to uphold their sacred duty of preaching peace and fostering harmony. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Residents of Jos, the Plateau State capital, have reacted to news that prices of food items in the market are dropping. The residents claim that despite a drop in the food inflation, they are yet to witness the fall in prices of food items in the area. Ado Musa completes the report.
Prices of food items have in recent years skyrocketed, with Nigerians lamenting each passing day. However, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, food inflation recorded a marginal drop in December 2024, coming down to 39.84%. In the MBS Rebus Index released recently, food inflation dropped to 26.08% in January. Beyond official government data, local reports have shown that food prices across some markets have dropped. But a visit to New Market in Jos revealed that residents who came to buy food items are yet to feel the impact of decrease in price of food items in the market, as prices of goods remain the same.
There is this rumor going around that the prices of food has crashed. But actually, when you get to the market, you discover that it's a different ballgame entirely. The price has not changed. We have not seen the effect of the change they said so far, that the price have crashed. So the price is still as it used to be.
Sincerely speaking, the issue of the crashing of the price of foodstuff is only on the social media. I have come across it, but in the market, the price still remains the same. There is no any change in the price. Example like one major of granite is 2.4, and I just priced it now. It still remains 2.4. There is no any change in the price. Kaura or I don't know dawako guinea corn. Yes, the price is 1.2. That is how it is used to be, and it still remains the same now. When we just ask about the price, there is no any change in it.
It has not come down. Up to now, it still remains the same. Because I'm market now, it's still what I'm buying is still the same. The price is still the same. It not come down, it's still high.
I don't know. I didn't see any dropping of the things, seriously, because yesterday I was here. So what we bought yesterday is the same thing that we are buying it today. So nothing dropped.
A grain seller in the market explained that although prices of some selected food items had decreased, the drop was insignificant. To be honest with you, the prices have reduced compared to previous weeks. But there are items whose prices have remained the same. For example, the prices of granite, acha, and millet have not reduced. However, items like beans, soya beans, and maize have reduced minimally. In the case of rice, the reduction is not significant. Many people who come here get disappointed because they come with the expectation of a substantial price reduction, but it is not what they expect. While many Nigerians continue to lament the high cost of goods and services in the country, the authorities continue to make promises of easing the cost of living crisis that has clearly shown no end in sight. From Jos, Adomusa reporting for Trust TV.
In business, the president and chairman of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, says his 650,000 barrels per day refinery can meet Nigeria's 100% petroleum production requirements. Dangote disclosed this during a tour of the $20 billion Lekki-based facility with the Zambia Minister for Energy, Makozo Chikote, at the weekend. According to him, the refinery produces enough petroleum products for local consumption and export. Earlier, reports quoted Dangote as saying that his refinery has over 600 billion naira worth of petrol in its stores. This comes after the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority recently said local refineries, including Dangote Refinery, met only 50% of Nigeria's petrol requirements in February 2025. NMDPRA's comments came amid speculation that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has continued to import fuel. However, NNPCL denied importing fuel in 2025. On the international scene, the president of Congo has declared his intention to establish a unity government as violence intensifies in the eastern part of the country and criticism grows regarding his response to the situation. In his first remarks since Rwandan-backed rebels M23 took control of significant cities in eastern Congo, President Felix Tshisekedi addressed the Sacred Union of the Nations ruling coalition on Saturday, urging members to focus on unity rather than internal disputes. The M23 rebels, the most notable among over 100 armed groups competing for power in eastern Congo, have rapidly advanced through the area, capturing vital cities and resulting in approximately 3,000 deaths. In a swift 3-week campaign, the M23 gained control of Goma, the main city in eastern DR Congo, and also took Bukavu, the second largest city. According to UN experts, the rebels are backed by around 4,000 Rwandan troops and have threatened to advance all the way to Kinshasa, the capital, located over 1,000 miles away. And finally, in sports, the management of Kano Pillars FC has extended the suspension of the club's technical advisor, Usman Abdullahi, until after the Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL March Day 28 fixture against Kwara United. The decision made during a management meeting on Sunday at the Sani Abacha Stadium follows a request from the investigative committee led by Disciplinary Committee Chairman Muhammad Danjuma Gwarzo, which is yet to conclude its findings. In the meantime, Chief Coach Ahmed Garba Yaro will continue to lead the team in upcoming matches against Okwa United on Wednesday, Rangers International at the weekend, and Kwara United on March Day 28. Kano Pillars FC says it remains committed to professionalism and discipline as the club progresses in the NPFL. And with that, we wrap up Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.